how that shit drop. Yeah. Man, we've been doing this for quite some time, and we're gonna keep on keeping on, you know? Oh, get with it or stay away from it. But either way, we going to the top. Can't even afford coming over. Your better presence is unimportant. So unimportant. I don't need you in my life. I feel like I'm cross. I put that on God. Feeling like the top. Feeling like the king. Everything you beat, it ain't really what it seems. Traveling, seeing all the world's problems. Trying to tell you how we get it and how we can solve them. I'm on the top flight now. I came from the bottom. Ain't gotta check my credibility. They know I got them. Can't really over. I'm still getting better. You let it burn me in the fall. I'm so panoramic. You can't even afford coming over. Your petty presence is unimportant. So unimportant. No, I don't want you. I don't need you in my life. Making every day for a paper.
So high that certain people can't even be around you because your energy is so strong. Vibrate so high that anybody that's wishing to do evil upon you, it shall be revealed. Vibrate so high that any evil entity feels uncomfortable in your presence. Vibrate so high.
My bad, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know if y'all heard us, but we got a new area coming. Everything is done came out, man. We doing our thing. Appreciate the Carrie showing straight love, and he's putting it together. He's masterminding putting stuff together. So I appreciate him showing the love and stuff. So we're not gonna be on here long, Carrie. But what I did want to talk about something. I don't know if you saw it. Jersey Rich, salute to everybody coming to as well. We appreciate everybody that supports the channel. But it's called in Sissonville, Virginia. It's it's actually in West Virginia, but on the outskirts, right? Check this out. A couple end up, I guess from the state of Washington, end up adopting kids. Which is a good thing, you know, you're adopting kids and stuff, you want to see the kids do well. Hopefully what you expect, that no bad things. The woman then leaves from Washington and then heads to West Virginia. Well, there in West Virginia, neighbors started noticing that, wait a minute, something's not right. These are African American kids, even though it was kind of odd being in West Virginia, African American kids that was with a white couple, but the way they were being done, a lot of them didn't see them out, they just saw them in the backyards and things of that nature. So I'm gonna play this clip, and then I want to get your whole breakdown on this as well.
A Sissonville couple accused of human trafficking and forced labor of adopted children, including two teenagers who were found locked in a barn in Sissonville. Well, they're back in jail.
Now, during their arraignment this afternoon, Judge Mary Claire Akers significantly increased the bonds for Gene Whitefeather and Donald Lance. Anna Saunders joins us live in the studio tonight with the reason. Anna?
Dave, Gina, before setting their bonds to $500,000 cash each, Judge Akers said she has never seen an indictment quite like this, and that not only alleges the trafficked black children, adopting them from shelters and foster care, forcing them to work, but that they specifically targeted them because of their race. Jeannie Whitefeather and Donald Lance came in on their own for their arraignments, but left in cuffs after Judge Mary Claire Akers set their bonds at $500,000, more than double what they had already paid.
And I don't think I've ever seen an indictment like this in all of my time. It alleges human trafficking, human rights violations, the use of forced labor, human rights violations specific to the fact that these children were targeted because of their race.
So let's stop right there, Karen. That's crazy.
Right.
So they adopting these kids and they adopting them based off their race and basically putting them through slave labor and treating them like slaves.
And what year we in?
And we in 2024. Wow. I couldn't believe this. And this is crazy.
This is nuts. This is bananas. And this is the society and the world that we live in, man.
Right.
Again, we've been saying this, I think, for the last couple of weeks, man. There is no respect or guard for life anymore.
Facts.
Man, my question is, did they do a thorough background check?
Right.
And, did they do that thorough background check? Or was it a buddy system? Oh, I know you, we'll just sweep some of this paperwork under the rug. It should have been some type of sign. Something
should have took place. I mean, come on, bro. When you go and you hear about, like this woman said, she had never heard anything as heinous as this. I mean, we're going to play it back. So again, for people coming in, appreciate everybody coming in, showing love. This is about a couple accused of human trafficking, forced labor, back. They're in custody. They went from a $200,000 custody to now it is $400,000. Because of that. So let's play this a little bit.
Mary Claire Akers set their bonds at $500,000, more than double what they had already paid.
And I don't think I've ever seen an indictment like this in all of my time. It alleges human trafficking, human rights violations, the use of forced labor, human rights violations specific to the fact that these children were targeted because of their race, and their use as basically slaves from what the indictment alleges. Along with human trafficking and neglect with serious risk of bodily injury or death, I don't find the bond to be sufficient.
Whitefeather and Lance were first arrested last October when a welfare check turned into the discovery of two teens apparently locked in a shed where investigators said they lived in deplorable conditions behind the Sissonville home. One other kid was found inside the house and two others were not home, all adopted by the couple. The indictment brought more than a dozen new charges against them alleging human trafficking and forced labor, also civil rights violations, as investigators believe they targeted these children specifically from a shelter because they were black, forcing them to work as slaves. Whitefeather and
So we gonna stop right there. Just, I don't know, man. Like, that's crazy that those kids had. Here's the problem with that is, not only did they have to go through life, whatever circumstance, could have been mama missing, mama not wanting to salute back mizzle. But who does that? Who adopts a kid and then targets them because they're black? Adopt them and then put them to work like a slave.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never even heard of anything like this, man. And when we do kind of hear about human trafficking, society wants us to think that it's somebody from Mexican,
right,
or blacks or something like that.
Right.
They're not showing us that this is a white collar crime or this is a collar wearing, tie wearing person. But I'm sitting up here looking at the young lady and she's smiling. You're in court, you're laughing, you smile. What are you smiling about?
Yeah.
What's so funny that even the judge says she's never heard anything like that, and you're smiling.
And you smiling. That's why I said it's sickening. And the fact that you are targeting, again, young black kids. Like you said, people think that, trafficking has to deal with somebody that's what they call coyotes or whatever, that's got these sombreros on and they taking them and throwing them in the truck, or stranger danger. These are people that literally went out their way and paid paperwork, filled it out, put their name on there, to then turn around to utilize these kids in such a way that, I mean, you wouldn't even do a dog like that. You don't even do animals. You don't put them to work like that.
Right. And then where's the social worker?
Right. Where's all these people that were supposed to have been there to protect them kids instead of pushing them through the system?
Yeah, it should have been a social worker that at least come through, every now and then and check the welfare of the children. But again, sometimes when you're a certain, I hate to say it, a certain race or whatever, and you're being adopted by a white family, they're not going to check you as well as it is a black family adopting a white child. They're gonna want to know why is it that you're not trying to adopt another black child, but you're getting a white child. I don't believe that they would go that long without even checking to see. Let me see what are they doing? What's the plan?
What's the plan and how long has it been going on? You're right.
Plans were originally in Washington State, and it is alleged they brought the children with them to Sissonville when they moved.
Counts 9 through 12 allege the use of forced labor, which I read as slavery.
Bond was initially set at $200,000 cash, and they were both able to post it. Prosecutors have said in a new complaint for forfeiture, the couple sold a $725,000 80-acre ranch in Washington State.
So, I'm going to get into that. Now, these folks had property in Washington. They leave to go to a whole nother place, damn near in a hole in the wall in the woods, but you leave a $700,000 and you got all this other money. And now they're trying to hold their money up. They said they're trying to reject their bond because they said, wait a minute, this money came from child trafficking money. This money, think about it, this is $700,000. One is, why is that house worth so much money in that area?
Exactly.
Look at that. Let's go back and see where they got it. Right there. $725,000. 5-bedroom, 4-bath. It's a beautiful home, but look at all that land.
Right.
That's crazy.
Hey, listen, they got their bread because they posted not a security bond. They posted 200 and what? Cash.
There you go. Each $200,000 each.
That's what $500,000.
Yeah.
So they sitting on $500,000
in cash. Somebody's supporting that. Somebody's backing that. Whoever it was allowing them to get them kids. You can't just get them kids and just treat them like slaves. And 20 of them kids going to school looking at, ain't none of my friends they get treated like miserable. Right. It's crazy.
80-acre ranch in Washington State, and sold their Sissonville home to post bond. And they believe both of these properties were paid for through trafficking. That will be decided in a separate court matter. But because of this, prosecutors say they found discrepancies in the financial affidavit Lance filled out for a court-appointed attorney, leading to a new charge on his indictment.
Wait a minute. Did you hear that?
Well, yes, sir.
And you doing bonds and stuff like that. Is that kind of wild that he would drop $200,000 on the bond, but then he also need a court-appointed attorney? Like, that's almost like, is something wrong with that picture?
Yeah, somebody had to tell him, hey, hold up. This don't even look right. Same thing as what you call. Somebody else in the system had to catch it and say, hey, listen, now, come on. We can't throw, $500,000 and then go get a lawyer.
Right.
We got to get a court-appointed lawyer. But people, listen, we're not that dumb, but to think that you're going to do this, but then now you need a court-appointed lawyer, you have to kind of bag that thing up to even it, even it up. You have to have a playing field. I gave you all my money. I don't have any more money. But then you soon see she doubles it. Now they're giving $1 million with a court-appointed lawyer. That's crazy.
So in a case like that, do they seem like they're confident they're going to get off?
You can tell by the way they look. look at them, look at their body language.
Yeah, like you said, no reaction.
No reaction. The gentleman there is calm. The young lady is laughing. Or who they confident because of who they in the bed with.
They work for somebody big. They work for somebody big. I don't know who it is they working with. Salute to everybody coming in here. Appreciate you coming in here.
Some of the information on his face is inaccurate.
Lance had to fill out a new affidavit today as the two were taken back into custody.
Yes, she's smiling.
Now, the next time these two are scheduled to appear in court for their scheduled trial in September, prosecutors noted there are volumes of evidence in this case for all sides to go through. Now, in terms of the bond issue and how the original bonds were paid for, that is to be worked out at a later date.
All right, so what we're going to do is, so before we go into this other video, horrible sound, sorry for that. Sorry, we're working on that, bold for Christ, but thank you for coming in. So, back to what you were saying, it's sad because we have, I mean, I can't believe to be put in a situation that you're supposed to be helping these kids, but then you're doing a horrific thing by, I mean, come on, man, like, you put, and then like they said, one of the kids that was in the house, I guess was sitting like up on a 15-foot raise or something, couldn't walk in the living room or something, or couldn't go anywhere because they was black. To walk through the house, they wasn't allowed to be in the house because they was black. That's why they were, I mean, it's just completely despicable. You know what I'm saying? So let's go in and look at this right here. So I want everybody, and appreciate everybody coming in support. Again, this is about a couple out of West Virginia that adopted some kids, but specifically went out and sought out little black kids so they can enslave them and make them work as slaves. So again, it's just completely a sad situation that we're in 2024, where kids alone have to go through something like that by losing their family or being mistreated by being given up, whether it be from state, drug, or whatever the situation can be, but then get put into another situation because they're vulnerable. That's the only thing I hate when it comes to that. Right. Kids being adopted, and you have to not know what's going on with them, but just imagine them going from there. I can see why a lot of them end up being cold-hearted.
Right, exactly.
It's just my opinion on that, but we'll get into this right here. And let's see. Let's break this one down.
Right now.
The Sissonville couple accused of human trafficking and forced labor were back in court today. This is the case where Donald Lance and Jeannie Whitefeather were arrested after deputies found their adopted teens locked in a barn last fall in Sissonville. But as Anna Saunders explains, today's hearing was focused on their financial situation as prosecutors consider some of their money illegal.
That's right, Gina. As new charges of human trafficking, forced labor, and civil rights violations stacked up against Whitefeather and Lance, so did their bond amount, as they are now back in jail on $500,000 cash bonds each. But the matter addressed in court today was about the first bond they posted when they were able to put down $400,000 cash back in February. This raised red flags with the prosecution, as they believe that money is contraband and are now looking to have it turned over to the state. It's the prosecution's ultimate goal to seize the $400,000 that Whitefeather and Lance posted for bond in February. The argument is that bonds were paid by selling homes in Washington state and in Sissonville where human trafficking occurred. What happened today is County Chief Circuit Court Judge Mary.
So basically they're saying these houses were used as trafficking spots. That's why they were able to get rid of them. That's why they never got rid of them before. So, so of course, now they're saying the proceeds and all that, it's all illegal money. So that's the reason why they haven't been bonded out. Now my question, if you spend that much money, it's either two things. Them people are, whoever is trying to get you out so you don't tell.
Oh yeah.
Or either they trying to get rid of everything and doing like a puffy move, get rid of everything so nobody be able to catch it.
Yeah, you know, we used to say, just follow the money, and you'll see where the head of the snake is.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, my opinion, this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
You have these 3 or 4 kids that have been working for you and working for you. You know, they put in labor. Why don't you give that money to them? Why don't you put that in a trust for them? Everything that they've been through, the trauma that they've been through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You said that you put them into forced labor, all of these type of things. It should be something that accommodates them. Not that they get it now, but it should be in some type of fund or something, you know, if you had them working. You had them working. So why would the state still get this?
So you saying it should be like a trust fund put in place for for pain and suffering.
Right. I mean, not necessarily if it have to be all of it. You know, I'm not saying it should be all of it or something like that, but it should be something to accommodate these kids.
Yeah.
Their future. You know, that's just me.
Right.
That's just me, man. So it's still, when you look at it, the tragedy is still these kids.
That's right.
So now, what happens to them now? Now they're back in the system.
Yeah.
But now they're probably in more worse mental shape than they were before they, left before.
Oh, I definitely believe well, just, I mean, 2024, somebody is treating you like they own you. That's crazy.
Claire Akers signed a protective order for that money, meaning it must stay with the sheriff's office until the courts decide if it will be seized or not.
We're not trying to forfeit the money without due process. We just want to protect it and preserve it until we've had a chance to litigate the claim.
A 16-count indictment was recently returned against Lance and Whitefeather, going far beyond their initial charge of child neglect. Investigators now say the couple sought out and adopted 5 black children from a shelter, targeting them for their race to do forced labor. The complaint said Lance and Whitefeather first had them at this 80-acre ranch in Washington state and then moved to the Sissonville home. This is where deputies, while doing a welfare check last fall, found 2 teenagers locked in a barn in what investigators called deplorable conditions. After they were arrested, the 2 sold the Washington home for about $700,000 and the Sissonville home for about $300,000. Prosecutors believe they used that money for bond.
And the state's position is that these assets were used to maintain and harbor minors in violation of the human trafficking statute. Our position is that's not true, and we look forward to a court in which we can prove otherwise.
So for now, the money is supposed to remain untouched until the court proceedings play out. Whitefeather's defense attorney Mark Plants and Kanawha County Assistant Prosecutor Chris Krivoniak both said seeking forfeiture for human trafficking, though common in federal court, will be uncharted waters for all in circuit court.
I've never had one in 20 years. The human trafficking statute is relatively new. Chris Krivoniak's the prosecutor. He's formerly a federal prosecutor where they do this all the time. He's very competent, knows what he's doing. But this is an issue of first impression for me, and I think the court. I don't want to. When I looked this up, I couldn't find anything about it.
No doubt you can't find it. But here's the thing: what they're going to play off of. They're playing off of. This is fairly new. If anything, we can. I guess there's actions that will be taken, but what they're playing off is because there's another video out where the woman is saying, hey, I want you to reduce my bond. And they're asking her why. And she's saying, no, it was a key in there. It was a key. I had I guess, a cousin or somebody or a family member or a friend said, no, there was a key inside that barn. So they could have got out at any given time. Now, here's the thing. If they do got cameras, they might do have a key in there. But then they also might be threatening them saying, if you open that door. You see what I'm saying? So now they're going to play off, the prosecutor's going to play off, wait a minute, they could have ran at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think they're going to get off. That's why they seem cocky, because money talks and bullcrap runs the marathon.
Yeah, it might. I don't see them getting off. If they get off on this, it's going to be more to it. It's going to be more to it, man. This is too cut and dry.
Yeah, but if you sell a $700,000 house and a $300,000 house, there wasn't a problem when they had the $700,000. See, first of all, it was the judge the first time, which makes me think it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
Because the judge allowed it the first time cash. They had to go back and revise it and make it $400 a piece. Because they easily had $200. They didn't sell no houses then.
Right. Listen, and then if you got that big house, why would you and you have adopted them?
Right.
Why would you have them in a barn? If you didn't, first of all, if you're gonna adopt, I thought they had to come out and look at the place, see if you have adequate enough space, and where they're gonna sleep. Where's their room?
Yeah.
Do you have a bed in here for them? So what did you show the social workers? What did you show the people before you got ready to adopt these young kids? You don't just go up there like you're at Walmart and go shopping and then just pick them up and put them in a bag and bring them home. They're going to investigate everything about you. Unless somebody taking something under the table.
They gotta be.
So if the social worker, if you said, hey, this is where they're going to be sleeping, all of this kind of stuff, but then all of a sudden you go over there now and they're in a barn, whether they're key in there or not.
Yeah, but you would think it would be cut and dry, but what we do know is the law is gray areas in there. And that's what I feel like the money plays a part. Because this right here, you say, I don't hear about how long they lived in this city. Yeah, it doesn't say how long they lived. Let's see one more time.
And are now looking to have it turned over to the state.
It's the prosecution's ultimate goal to seize the $400,000 that White Feather and Lands posted for bond in February. The argument is that bonds were paid by selling homes in Washington State and in Sissonville where human trafficking occurred. But what happened today is Kanawha County Chief Circuit Court Judge Mary Claire Akers signed a protective order for that money, meaning it must stay with the sheriff's office until the courts decide if it will be seized or not.
We're not trying to forfeit the money without due process. We just want to protect it and preserve it until we've had a chance to litigate the claim.
A 16-count
indictment was recently returned against Lands and White Feather, going far beyond their initial charge of child neglect. Investigators now say the couple sought out and adopted 5 black children from a shelter, targeting them for their race to do forced labor. The complaints and Lands and White Feather first had them at this 80-acre ranch in Washington State and then moved to the Sissonville home. This is where deputies, while doing a welfare check last fall, found 2 teenagers locked in a barn in what investigators called deplorable conditions.
After they were arrested, the two sold the Washington home for about $700,000 and the Sissonville home for about $300,000. Prosecutors believe they used that money for bond.
And the state's position is that these assets were used to maintain and harbor minors in violation of the human trafficking statute. Our position is that's not true, and we look forward to a court in which we can prove otherwise.
So for now, the money is supposed to remain untouched until the court proceedings play out. Whitefeather's defense attorney Mark Plants and Kanawha County Assistant Prosecutor Chris Krivoniak both said seeking forfeiture for human trafficking, though common in federal court, will be uncharted waters for all in circuit court.
I've never had one in 20 years. The human trafficking statute is relatively new. Chris Krivoniak, the prosecutor.
So on this, Kerry, what you thinking, man? Like the whole, because to me, this right here is I don't know. This should be like right down to the bone. Like okay,
Cut
and dry, straight to the bone, to the pivot.
But it kind of seems like the district attorney is already trying to get him out.
Yeah.
Because he's saying, hey, well, you know, I never seen anything like this. I'm a little,
see,
you know, well, that's not the state's problem.
That's right.
Get you somebody that's competent, you know, enough. Sound like they trying to set some type of appeal thing or whatever, some type of thing already before it even starts. Because he's already saying, hey, listen, I never seen it. This is new. I looked it up and couldn't find anything.
Right.
But you must not have been looking, you found this.
Yeah.
You're not a lawyer, so.
No.
You know, if he dig deep enough, and I seen something, I think with Nick, so they all in cahoots together. You're right. You're right. Nobody's going to just, all of this just coincidental and you just let everything slide.
Yeah.
Even moving to another state, everything just slides.
Yeah.
Again, the positioning of where these, the homes and everything, or where these kids are going to be staying, where they're going to be living, all of that has to be checked.
But yeah, everything, let me see if I can pull this. No, you're absolutely right. It's a plethora of stuff that should have been looked at, but ain't. And like they say, I think they actually going to go after the child services in some cases because they want to know how the heck did y'all allow this to, what's the same one? Yeah, how the heck you guys allow that to happen?
That's what I'm saying. How did you allow this to happen? Somebody dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody knows somebody that knows somebody. So if somebody knows somebody that knows somebody, everybody should have them bracelets on.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, and like you said, it should be no reason. Trying to see, let's see. I'm trying to find another one where we can break down because like I said again, there's a lot of these videos that are out there that they have. The sad part, like you say, no. One of the things I kind of hate sometimes, me being on it, nobody actually, you know, people don't look this stuff up, man, and it's out there. But I totally get it. Sometimes people are like, man, I didn't even know that type of stuff exists. Because I mean, like you said, in 2024, who in the world would be thinking that some kids, you know, we know about mamas and them not being, you know, all the way mamas, but people adopting people. I mean, I don't get it.
Right, and you adopted 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You adopted 3 or 4 black kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just speaking my mind and my opinion.
Yeah.
Is that if this was reversed.
Right.
If this was reversed, if you and I go out and we adopt one white young man, and then we go back and we adopt another white young man.
Right.
And then we go back and we adopt another white young man.
And we ain't giving no brothers and sisters to play.
Come on. It's going to raise some red flag.
Yeah.
Why do they keep coming and adopting white boys?
Yeah.
All of the black, you know, kids out here, you keep coming and adopting white boys.
Facts.
At some point, somebody should say, wait, hold on, wait. Or did you give them a sob story, you know, now you lying. You saying, hey, listen, you know, I feel guilty of what we did to, you know, to the blacks and slavery, and I want to give back.
Give back, yeah.
So you giving back, and you taking them back to the same mentality as your fathers and forefathers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So somebody should have, that should have just raised a red flag. And like my man said here is, you know, maybe everybody in cahoots together.
Gotta be. So we're gonna play this last video before we get out of here, Carrie. Then tell me what you think about this.
People are behind bars.
Today, after deputies in Kanawha County found children locked in an outbuilding with no access to food or water.
The deputies say they had received a lot of calls from the neighbors in the area who were concerned about the children's safety. News Channel 3's Adriana Doria joins us now live outside the sheriff's office with more on what is an unbelievable case for a lot of those deputies.
Yeah, good evening, Tim and Sarah. Really unfortunate situation that unfolded in Sissonville. Investigators were there on scene last night and into parts of this morning. I also got a chance to go to that residence where all of this unfolded and talk to neighbors in the area. And while they didn't want to go on camera, they all said that they were concerned for these kids and cannot believe something like this happened in their neighborhood. Two people, 63-year-old Donald Lance and 61-year-old Jean Whitefeather, both behind bars on Tuesday, facing felony child neglect with risk of injury charges. The Kanawha County Sheriff's Office is crediting neighbors in the area for prompting the investigation.
You know, we were very fortunate this time that when the people called, we were actually able to go out there and see what was actually happening with our own eyes.
The sheriff's office says deputies responded to the scene around 5:45 Monday evening. When they got to the scene, deputies found a boy and a girl, both in their teens, trapped inside a 20 by 14-foot shed. According to court documents, the girl said her brother were not allowed inside and were trapped out in
thing that gets me. It's like they sitting in a barn, right? So everybody understands they're sitting in the barn. It's hot as hell in the barn. They working these kids. I wonder, you know, one of the things, I wonder if they got the proper education. I wonder if that's what they gave them. Did they give them any proper education? Were they, you know, anything of that nature? So, you know, that's the thing I think about. So let's go back here. Let's play this again because I want everybody to hear this before we get out of here. So check this out.
And 61-year-old Jean Whitefeather, both behind bars on Tuesday, facing felony child neglect with risk of injury charges. The Kanawha County Sheriff's Office is crediting neighbors in the area for prompting the investigation.
You know, we were very fortunate this time that when the people called, we were actually able to go out there and see what was actually happening with our own eyes.
The sheriff's office says deputies responded to the scene around 5:45 Monday evening. When they got to the scene, deputies found a boy and a girl, both in their teens, trapped inside a 20 by 14-foot shed. According to court documents, the girl said her and her brother were not allowed inside the residence and were trapped out in that shed for long periods of time every day.
They continued their efforts to try to make contact with someone that could gain them access to the barn or to the residence, and they were unsuccessful. So deputies eventually had to go ahead and force entry to the barn, where they did locate a juvenile male and a juvenile female.
Now I'm gonna stop right there because they claim that these kids weren't entrapped or enslaved. If they had a key in the door, Carrie, what you think?
Right. They open it up and say, hey, it's a key, hold up. It's a key here, hold up, I'll let you in.
See?
You know what I'm saying? And why do you have a key? Why do you have it that you got to unlock with a child? You have to have a key to unlock it.
Key to unlock it, right. That's true.
It doesn't make sense.
Look, I mean, they had them out there, their shed.
The sheriff's office says that deputies also found another child located inside of the house in a loft that was about 15 feet off the ground. Deputies say
that is crazy. You got, like, Carrie, my man is in a loft 15 feet above it. He can't even, they won't even let that little black boy touch the ground. Yeah, you can't even touch the ground while they ain't there. They take you and put you in a loft and pull you up so you can't walk around in the house.
So where was his key?
Yeah, facts.
So if the people that's in the young people that's in the barn had a key, what about the one that's in the loft? They have a key? Yeah, elevator button or something like that?
Something, a rope to climb down. They got this little, I wonder how old that kid was that was up in the loft, basically in like a little hammock, pulled up hammock.
That's what I'm saying, Terry. I hope they don't, you know. But like Cross said, we just have to pray.
Yeah.
Because sometimes some things like this, they're gonna find some type of way to get out of it, especially if you got too many people in cahoots with it. They're in the deal with it. So before they expose everybody, you know, somebody's being the sacrificial lamb.
Facts.
Male and juvenile female. The sheriff's office says that deputies also found another child located inside of the house in a loft that was about 15 feet off the ground. Deputies say Lance and Whitefeather didn't show up on scene until a few hours into the investigation, where they were then taken into custody. They say all the children found were completely unsupervised and without basic living necessities.
Living conditions, especially because there's no plumbing, there was no bathroom facilities inside there. They were, it appeared that their hygiene was just horrific.
Man, imagine how they did them little black kids. Oh man, they had a toilet. That's nasty.
But they had a key.
But they had a key. Man, I don't care what nobody say. Man, them kids, if they could have figured out a way to get out there and run, but by that time, imagine, they was traumatized.
Right. But then, look, the police are there, what, a couple of hours?
Yeah.
They said they were a couple of hours into the investigation before they came home. So how long had they been gone?
Yeah, probably, and the kids wouldn't know. You know, they inside of the shed.
And they're in a barn. Like you said, it's hot.
Damn.
You don't have any plumbing. Come on, man.
Dang, that's nasty. They probably trying to breathe in there.
It's all the biggest thing was
girl and the boy.
Yeah.
Brother and
at
sister.
least, the top priority was to get them in some decent care.
Dang.
Now that shed to the barn also housed many different animals. So while we were there on scene, humane officers were there picking up those animals. Now, what I will say is this is all still under investigation, and there are lots of questions still to be answered. But I can say that those children are now safe.
All right, thanks, Adriana. Lawns and Whitefeathers received a $200,000 cash-only bond, and their preliminary hearing has been set for October.
So we got a chance to see that in rare form. So, all right, Kim, we gonna wrap this thing up, man. What do you think out of all this, brother?
The two things I've been saying for, I think, the last couple of weeks, the love of money is just the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Please make sure I didn't say money is, but the love of it. People will do whatever it takes to get, and that's why the world is in the shape that it's in now. People will do anything for money. That love of money, it is the root of all evil, and the mere fact that there is no value of life anymore.
Facts.
You know,
facts.
All of us that's here, that's on here, we're connected. You and I, and then the ones that have tuned in. It used to be a time when we can go to the store, whatever, and feel safe. Man, you can't go to the store and come out and there's a rag on your mirror that has something on it that can take you out. You know, or some money on the ground and you pick it up.
Right.
You know, I think it was here in Alabama, they were doing something to entice kids with candy, you know, on the ground, stuff like that. And they said, these are things we didn't even think about.
We didn't think about that.
Somebody dropped something on the car.
Yeah.
We pick it up and get it off our car. We'd have passed out. Now we don't even know where we are.
We don't know where we are. Yeah.
We're in a jacked up time. But hey, this is what was told. We living in the last time.
Living in the last days, yeah. So there y'all have it, man. We had to bring y'all another one. I appreciate everybody coming on supporting us. Please tune in.
Yes, sir.
We'll probably have something coming up tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all hit the notification bell, comment, share, like, subscribe, all those good things. A lot of good stuff coming. We'll continue to keep building. We appreciate everybody supporting us, rocking with the channel, rocking with the brand, and rocking with the movement. And having Carrie coming on to build and add to it is just another blessing added to the pot. So again, y'all keep on keeping on, and we gonna keep on keeping on with the brand, with all the news and everything. So on that note, peace. We out.
It's the Plug Podcast, hey. Yo, you already know. Once how this shit drop. Yeah. Man, we've been doing this for quite some time, and we're gonna keep on keeping on, you know? Oh, get with it or stay away from it. But either way, we going to the top. Hey, we running over, I stand with getting better. Let it come and get falling so pandemic, it can't even afford coming over. Your petty crisis is unimportant, so unimportant. So I don't want you, I don't need you in my life. I feel like I'm crossed, I put that on God. Feeling like the top, feeling like the king. Everything you keep, it ain't really what it seems. Traveling, seeing all the world's problems. Trying to tell you how we get it and how we can solve them. I'm on the top flight now, I came from the bottom. Ain't gotta check my credibility, they know I got them. Came in and over, I still getting better. You let it burn me in, falling so painful.